Welcome everyone, Nancy here again in the Minnetonka Senior Center in our nice exercise room here, here to practice a bit of yoga with you. Again, thanks to the senior staff here and the IT department at the city for setting these sessions up so we can practice safely and remotely for a while until once again we can be back together. So welcome, good to have you here with me. Today we will be doing sun salutations, and we'll start off using a sun salutation to the chair, so chair-supported sun salutation. So if you have an armless chair that you can bring in close to you, and we'll use that a little bit later. Sun salutations are just postures that are linked together. They're considered a vinyasa and just a more fluid and flowing form of yoga, very popular today. The sun salutations are a good example of that. The other thing that you're going to need is your strap for leg extensions. So with that, we'll go down to the mat, and you can lay down on the mat completely. We can use our yoga roll down, bending the legs, and then trying to use your core to come down to the mat. And then you can keep those legs bent if you'd like. If you have back issues and that just feels better, you can even stack the knees together and take the feet out slightly to the side. You always have the option of patting the head, the neck, the low back. Some people like to roll up a towel and place it underneath the knees. So use your props as necessary. We're going to find ourselves nicely aligned on both sides of the spine. We can take the arms out away from the midline of the body a bit and allow the legs to go out. And then the feet will just kind of naturally splay out to the side. Again, palms up if you'd like to receive a little extra energy today. Palms down if you feel like you need to be a little bit more grounded. So do what is ever right for you. You can roll the head back and forth, find a good place for it to rest. And then just close the eyes and move inward to that place of peacefulness and calm within. We let go of the outside world for the next hour or so, letting go of any cares or concerns. And we just focus on ourselves for this next hour, on our own well-being, what we're doing, what we're feeling as we're doing the different movements and the different postures. If you'd like, you can place your hands on your belly and just feel that nice diaphragmatic breathing, trying to fill the lungs completely from the top or from the bottom to the top. A good way to get in touch with the breath. Again, with the eyes closed now, we can just let go of the past, have no concerns for the future, and bring ourselves present. And we'll stay in this quiet, peaceful place now for a minute or so as we prepare for our practice. And then we'll move into the work to warm up the lower body. I'm going to sit up here and turn so it's easier to see what I'm doing here. So first of all, we'll just make sure we're nicely aligned, and then we're going to draw the legs in towards the torso. Again, you can hold the backs of the thighs or your shins. This is a really nice thing to be doing for the back. Hug them in tightly. Think of pulling the navel in toward the spine. And then release slightly, and you can just rock from side to side here, or try to do some circular patterns with the low back area. And you can go in both directions. Just nicely working out this part of the body that can often cause us some problems. If you feel a little bit achy there, if you can get down to the floor, it's always nice to roll it out. A bed is fine as well, but you're probably going to get a little bit better workout if you're on a harder surface. So put a mat down or lay on a rug and just roll out the low back. And then we're going to come back to center, and we're going to place the hands over the knees, cup the hands over the knees, and do some nice hip circles. This is a series, we call it an early morning series, that everyone can do while you're still in bed, and you get a few minutes of yoga before you even get out of bed. Bringing those legs back to center. Now extend those legs up and feet up and do some bicycle movements. And then come back to center and just point and flex the feet, working the ankles here. And then do circular patterns. You could do many more of these than we're doing here right now. We'll go in both directions. Bring the feet back to center, and now turn the instep of the feet down towards you and then up towards the ceiling. And again, go back and forth a few times. And then let's extend the fingertips up, have your toes pointed here, and just scissors your arms and your legs, and you can open and close the hands. Again, warming the body up. Come back to center. Now you can take the hands back to the floor. Point your toes, go out in a V, and then lead with your heels as you draw those legs back together. And you should feel that on the inside of the thighs, the adductor muscles. Pointing the toes, go out. Flexing the feet, come in. You can do that a few times. Variations are out, bend, together, up, out, bend, together, up, out, bend, together, and up. And then we'll go into the dead bug pose. The legs are extended up, the feet are flexed, and the arms extend upward as well. We do keep the shoulders on the mat for the dead bug pose. The palms of the hands face each other here. Good place to contract the pelvic floor muscles and strengthen them. Think of drawing them in towards the navel. You can have a nice contracted abdominal area as well. We move from dead bug to happy baby. We take the hands to the backs of the thighs. We bend the legs, and then we take those bent legs out. Remember, you can have your hands on those thighs pulling down, or you can reach up for your ankles or the soles of the feet. Again, good for a stretch through the hips and the groin area, but really good for the low back as well. And then we'll draw the soles of the feet together in a version of cobbler here. Knees go out to the side. Your hands can cradle your ankles. You can hold the tops of the feet together if you'd like. Knees out to the side. And then gently press your elbows into your thighs to open up your hips a little bit more. And then we're going to release, bringing the feet back to the mat. We're going to move into wind relieving posture. We have the ascending colon on the right side of the body, transverse colon kind of just along the lower ribs, and then a little more to the outside of the left side, we go down, and that is the descending colon. So what we are doing when wind relieving posture is trying to get compression on the ascending and the descending colon. If for some reason you can't do this, a good massage is just to do kind of a circular pattern, around the whole tummy and give that colon a little bit of a workout that way. Otherwise, we'll take that right leg in. Again, hold the back of the thigh if you need to, or your shin. And then the left leg can be bent with the sole of the foot pressed into the mat, or extend that leg fully and have that foot flexed. Again, getting some compression on the right side of the body. And then we'll take that leg more towards the outside. And then we'll come back to center, and we're going to release that leg and take the left leg up and in. And then we'll take that leg out to the side. And then we'll bring that leg back to center and release. And then you can take your strap and we'll go into our leg extensions. If we have time, we'll be going into the gate posture later, so we want the hip area nicely warmed up here. So the right foot is strapped. We can take a nice broad grasp of the strap so the heart center remains open. You can have a slight bend in the leg. Over time, you'd like to be able to stretch it out completely, but listen to your body today. We're going to keep the left leg bent or extended, and then on exhalations, move that foot a little bit more toward the head or over the head. Really tune into your body. Be aware of where you're feeling the stretch here. And then we're going to take the strap. You can reach up a little closer to your foot if you'd like here. And we're going to take the right foot and leg off to the right side. And you can go slowly. As you do, feel how the stretch is changing now. More towards the inside of that thigh. And again, you don't have to bring the foot all the way down. You can rest on your upper arm and your elbow. You could have a block or a cushion on the floor there to release it to if you choose. Always listening to your own body. Now here we do want to keep that left shoulder down. That's anchoring the posture. You will note, though, that the left hip will come off the floor. And then we're going to carefully come back to center. At center, take the strap in both hands again and draw the foot forward again. Then transfer the strap into the left hand, right arm going out now. Roll onto the left hip and bring that right leg across the body, getting a greater stretch through the low back and through the outside of the thigh. The psoas muscle getting a good stretch from the thoracic spine into the hip area. Also the IT band, that thick band of cartilage on the outside of the leg. Here you can take your knuckles and go up and down. You could roll a tennis ball up and down that area if that area seems to be really tight. We come back to center. We take the strap in both hands and draw that foot forward again. And then we can carefully release, realign ourselves, and then strap the left foot and bring that foot up. And again, forward on exhalations. You don't want to just yank that leg forward. Take your time, be mindful. Transfer your strap now over into your left hand. The right arm goes out now, releasing the left foot and leg off to the left side. Again, you can catch yourself on your upper arm and elbow if you'd like, or you can see if you can go down a little bit more. And then carefully come back to center, taking the strap in both hands again, coming forward, transferring the strap to the right hand, left arm out now. Bring the left leg and foot across the body. Spinal twist on this side. Again, you can take the fist and go up and down the outside of that leg. And then come back to center. Taking the strap in both hands again. See if that leg will come forward a little bit more than it did originally. And then you can carefully release. And then we're going to come on up to standing. Today we'll use mindful standing. When we do the sun salutations, we'll be doing downward facing dog. So we'll just use mindful standing. So you come up on your shins, you bring one foot forward. You can rest your hands on that thigh if you'd like. You curl the back toes under and press up to standing. Again, a good exercise is just to practice getting up and down from the floor like that, switching legs. Really quite a workout in and of itself, using your body weight, and a good thing to be doing. It's said if you can get up and down from the floor fairly easily, you're still in pretty good shape. So we're going to work on the upper body now. The lower body has been nicely worked out. And really think of doing those movements. You don't have to do the leg extensions, but in about 5 minutes or so, you can really work out the lower body before you even get out of bed, which is really a good thing to be doing. Helps to keep us safe and stable when we get up and move about. So the mountain pose is the first pose that we come into. Again, toes, knees track ahead, feet are well grounded. The feet are like the bedrock of that mountain. We're going to have just a slight tuck to the tailbone. You want to keep the curve in the low back area. That's so important. And then really lift through the sternum, release your shoulders back and down. Just allow the arms to relax at the sides of the body. Long, strong neck supporting the head. And then we reach out through the crown of the head, the peak of that mountain. And then take your gaze out where the horizon would be, or even slightly above the horizon. And feel your steadiness, your stableness in this mountain pose. The yoga postures keep us grounded, but keep extending us upward. So beautiful, beautiful mountain pose. Then let's gently work the upper body, shoulder shrugs first. Again, nice to do 3 or 4 repetitions of the shoulders going back, forward, and then back again. Back at center, let's come up and forward, down and around. If you're feeling tight in this area after doing some computer work or reading, remember to do the shoulder shrugs, especially the ones in reverse. We tend to round forward with all the different work we're doing on computers or electronic equipment, so the backward moving shoulder shrugs are even more important than the forward ones. And then some sun breaths, inhaling up, connecting breath with movement. On the exhalation, turn the palms outward and bring the arms back down. Again, inhaling up, exhaling down. Now adding some movements for the hands. Inhaling up, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your thumbs. Inhaling up, adding wrist rotations. Inhaling up, bringing the hands together in prayer position or namaste, pressing them firmly together, bringing them back in front of the heart center. And now we're going to inhale up and exhale out and around. Beautiful fluid movements. Inhaling up, exhale out and around. If you'd like, you can have the arms a little more rounded here. And just try to feel the flow of energy. Moving that energy up the spine. And we'll do one more here. And we can release. Let's work our necks. Again, the neck is long to begin with. You're going to tuck the chin toward the chest. Keep your shoulders down here. And in this position, you should be able to feel a nice stretch between your shoulder blades and the upper back there, and then the back of the neck as well. And then we'll keep the chin tucked, but we'll rotate it off toward the left shoulder, and we'll hold over here. We'll keep breathing. Again, when you practice, try to take at least 3 to 5 nice, long, deep breaths. We don't spend quite as much time in the postures as you could spend at home. We just are trying within the hour to move the body beautifully from head to toe. The head is back at center, the chin is tucked. We're going to rotate it toward the right shoulder. Hold here. And then bring the head back to center. Now we're going to scoop the chin forward and up. Try not to over-arc the back of the neck. And then exhale back down. Again, this upward look can help the neck when we've been using those electronic devices a lot. Just looking up towards the sky can help. And then bring the chin back so it's parallel to the floor. Let's look side to side. We'll go to the right side here. Inhaling, take your gaze off to the right. Over time, see if you can look back a little bit more, but do not force anything. Here you can nod up and down a little bit too. Work the neck a little bit differently. And then come back to center. Inhale as you look off to your left. Hold over here. Again, you can nod up and down. And then come back to center. Now we'll take the ears towards the shoulders. Right side first, again, shoulders down and the neck long. Inhale up and over your right ear, moving toward the right shoulder. Remember, you can always place your right hand on the head if you'd like. Add a little extra weight, a little extra stretch. And then come back to center. Inhale up and over now, left ear moving toward the left shoulder. Hold here, keep breathing. And lift as you come back. Next, place your fingers at the base of the head with the elbows out to the side. Press those fingers firmly into the head and press the head firmly into those fingers. A nice isometric exercise here to strengthen the cervical spine. And then you're going to release and bring the heels of the hands now to the eyebrows and press in and press back. And then you can release the left hand, take the heel of the right hand above the right ear, press in and back. And then you can release, take the heel of the left hand and press in and back. And we'll release. Let's do just a little bit of ragdoll, shaking and twisting, tapping the body a little bit, and trying to get every cell within us moving a bit here. Your arms can go overhead if you'd like. Do the backstroke, do the crawl. Cross over the midline of the body a little bit. And then let's come back to center and do just a little bit of cross-country ski movement, swinging those arms, stretching out through the side bodies, softly bending those legs. Crossing over the midline, coming back to center. And then just come back to standing. Let's float the arms out, bring the hands to the tops of the shoulders. Do a little bit of work for the shoulders, circles forward and back, circles or elbows in and out, elbows up and down. And then release. Interlacing the fingers and working the wrists out. We'll be shortly doing the sun salutation, so we want the hands nicely warmed up here. Do that bigger figure eight. Come back to center and recross the other index finger and thumb on top, working those wrists out. And then keep your fingers interlaced, but turn your palms down, and you're going to tug. And then recross and tug again. And then palms together in prayer position. On your inhalation, bring those hands up. See if you're going to get the forearms together, and then open the palms towards the sun. Exhaling back down. Imagine the hands a little sprout, a little seedling, coming up through the earth, and then emerging into that sunshine. Exhaling, we come back together and down. And one more time. And release. Then float the arms out. We'll bring the arms in front. We're going to work the wrists a little bit more. We don't always do these movements in the mat class, this intermediate class, but good movements to remember. So the arms are extended out. We're going to bring the fingertips down towards the floor, get that good stretch on the top of the wrist and the top of the hand, and then have your palms parallel, and then press out through the heels of the hands. Palms parallel, fingertips down, palms parallel, and fingertips up. Palms parallel to the floor, work your hands from side to side. Cup your hands, spread your fingers, twisting. And then imagine there's a beautiful scarf that you're picking up with your thumbs and your fingertips. You're going to go all the way down to the floor if you'd like. Just simple movements. Then open and close. Scissors. Bring the thumbs back and forth across your palms and do some nice rotations here. Let's stretch out the spine just a little bit with crescent moon, floating those arms out and going overhead. Again, long spine, we sway gently side to side. We'll take the head and the hands off to the left. Allow your right hip to bump out just a bit and feel that good stretch in the right side of the body. Coming back. Again, swaying a little bit side to side, getting lots of length in the spine, and now off to the right, bumping the left hip out. And come back to center. Now interlace the fingers and press up. This could be considered a temple movement with the palms being the top of that temple. We'll do the side bending with the hands in this position. So we'll go off to the left. So you'll feel a slightly different stretch. Come back, again press up, go off to your right. and come back. And then recross the fingers, and we'll do that again. Off to the left, come back to center, and off to the right. And come back to center. And then you can press your hips forward, take the gaze up, and come back upright, and release. And then just shake the hands out. And we'll move into our chair-supported sun salutations. So an armless chair is good, dining room chair perhaps, and we're going to have the chair seat facing us. And again, this is considered a vinyasa, a flowing yoga movement. Make sure that the chair is secure. If you're on a wood floor, really good idea to have your yoga mat so the chair doesn't go sliding out from under you. When you bend, you want your shoulders over the front corners of that chair seat. So we take the hands to the heart center. We extend up into Hastasana, our back bend. We come upright and we bring the hands to the front corners of that chair seat. We'll go into a forward fold, bringing the head down to the chair. And now you're going to press your palms into the chair seat and bring yourself up and look over the chair back. Now is the time to press your sit bones back, and you're in a version of monkey. Now you're going to take your left foot back and bend your right leg. So you're in a lunge position. Chair-supported sun salutation, something to do when you don't feel like going all the way down to the floor for the regular sun salutation. Getting a really good stretch to that back leg. Bringing the right foot back to meet the left, and then pressing back so you're in a modified downward facing dog. Again, feel the effects of the different movements. Coming up on your toe tips and pivoting forward into a plank position, very strengthening for the core and for the arms. Now stay in plank if you have low back issues. If you don't, bring your hips forward towards the chair seat. Your sternum and your gaze goes up for a version of up dog. Come back into your plank position. Carefully back into down dog. Take your gaze towards the chair seat. Now step forward with your left foot and bend that left leg. Now you're getting the lunge on the other side. We're doing this first one slowly, and then we'll move a little bit faster so you really get the vinyasa flow going. Stepping the right foot up to meet the left, bow the head to the chair seat, press into the chair seat, release from it, Hastasana, and back to Namaste. Hastasana, forward fold. Look up for monkey. Step back left, bending right, step back right, press into down dog. Pivot forward into plank, up dog, plank, down dog. Step forward left, bending that leg, step forward right, bow to the chair, press into the chair, release from it, Hastasana, and back to Namaste. Again, feel the effects. One more, Hastasana, forward fold. Look up for monkey. Step back left, bending right, step back right, press into down dog. Pivot forward into plank, up dog, plank, down dog. Step forward left, bending that leg, step forward right, bow to the chair, press into the chair, release, Hastasana, and back to Namaste. So if you did several of those in a row, you would really get the heart rate up. You can stay with the chair if you'd like. We'll try one to the floor. Again, stay with the chair if you choose. There are many ways of doing the sun salutations, and this is one I learned from my mentor, my good friend, who's no longer with us, wonderful friend, Dar Kleberg. So hands at the heart center, we bend, we sweep, we come up into Hastasana. Forward fold. Look up for monkey. Forward fold. Hands to the mat. Step back left. Bend your right leg. And again, you want your knee to be above the ankle or slightly behind it. You can just hang out here for a moment. And then you can curl those back toes under, come up, and take that right foot back to meet the left, and come into a plank position. Drop your knees down, take the tops of the feet down. Press back into an extended Virasana. Good stretch here. And then pivot forward onto your belly. And you can come up into Cobra. The hands can come up like this, or you can tuck your hands, your thumbs under the body and bring yourself up. Then we slowly come down. We take the hands back under the shoulders. We curl those toes up. We come up into plank and then back into downward facing dog. Drop your right knee down, take the left leg forward, low lunge. Curl your right toes under, come up into your high lunge. Bring your right foot up to meet the left. Look up for monkey, forward fold. Hands at the heart center, sweeping down, out, up, Hastasana. And again, back to Namaste. And release. There's sun salutations, there's moon salutations, there's other vinyasa flows. So if you're interested, look into classes that do more of that for you. Really energizing and invigorating. Let's move into Warrior Two here. We'll step the feet apart. Your moderate to broad base, again tucking the tailbone slightly. Always a good time to really contract the pelvic floor muscles, work those muscles. Floating the arms out, you're in 5-point star, reaching out with those fingertips, opening up energy channels from the heart center through those fingertips. Energy channels in the legs, grounding us to the earth. The left leg is the back leg as we begin. You're going to pivot on that heel and bring those toes in and turn that right foot away from the midline of the body completely. You can walk that foot out a little bit more if you'd like. Take the gaze out over your right fingertips now. Nice deep inhalation here. On the exhalation, just sink down, bending that leg. You don't want to surf forward. You don't want the knee to be over your foot at all here. That can compromise the knee. Stand tall and strong here in Warrior Two. The warrior postures remind us that we're strong, we're resilient, we're brave, we can meet life's challenges. We turn the right palm up, move into reverse warrior. Left arm and hand go down along the back side of the body. Right arm and hand overhead. Your gaze can be forward or up. Feel your strength. Come back. Press the forward leg straight and turn your feet parallel. And just rest here for a moment. How did that posture feel on that side of the body? To balance it out, we go to the other side, star as we begin. Right toes come in, left toes turn out. The gaze is out over your left fingertips now. Try to keep that back arm at the same height as the forward arm. Nice deep inhalation here. On the exhalation, again, sink down. Do not surf forward. Adjust your stance if necessary. Here too, you could use a chair in front of you as a prop if you're feeling a little bit wobbly. Left palm turns up. We windmill that arm and hand overhead. Right arm and hand along the back side of the body. And then come back into Warrior Two. Press the forward leg straight and turn your feet parallel. And again, let's turn the heels out and we'll go into a wide-legged forward fold here. So bending at the hip crease, we'll come forward and down. Again, you could have a block in front of you here. You can come down to your fingertips, press your sit bones back. This is more or less of what they call a pyramid pose. And it's where you stay if you have those issues with not wanting excess pressure in your eyes, if you have untreated high blood pressure, if you're dizzy or congested. We keep the upper torso parallel to the floor. Otherwise, we can round down, bringing the head down towards the floor here. You could use a block underneath the head as well. The hands can come to your ankles, to the inside of the feet. You can even turn your fingers back if you'd like, and release the head down. Changes our view of the world just a bit. A little bit topsy-turvy here. Getting extra blood flow to the head, to the brain. Then we'll come up, we'll come back into pyramid. We'll add a twist here. Your left hand can come in just a little bit more. You're going to inhale and twist off to the right. And then on your exhalation, come back. Inhale, twisting to the left. Exhale back, again off to your right. And back, and off to your left. And back. Let's just come down to the mat here. And sit in hero pose for just a moment, sitting back on those shins. We're going to be doing the gate posture, so we need to warm the hips up a little bit more before we move into that posture. In this posture, you could also use a block and have the block between the legs, and over time, see if you can get a little bit closer and closer to the floor. Let's come into Dandasana for just a moment, extending those legs out. You can do a little bit of a knee massage here. Once you've been sitting on those knees, they can get a bit sore. Again, a good thing to do whenever you think of it, to get blood flow through that knee capsule, very healthful for the knees. We're going to come into the cobbler pose, which really opens us up through the hips here. Again, with knee issues, keep the feet out and just allow the knees to splay out as much as they will. This is more or less considered a clamshell, so it's not as stressful to the knees. If you don't have issues, you can draw those heels in as close to the base of the torso as you can get them. Find your sit bones. You can walk those back just a bit. Hold on to the feet and just think those bent legs a little bit closer to the ground. You can butterfly if you'd like. A few nice deep breaths here. And then let's grab the right big toe with our thumb, index finger, and middle finger and just work the legs a little bit this way. And then this way. And then you can pop back on your sit bones and see if you can get both of those legs up, in and out. If you feel like you're going to roll back, just tuck your chin. We'll come back to cobbler for just a moment. And then we'll try something called cradle rock, which is really good for the hips. This might not be available to you if you haven't done a lot of yoga lately, so we'll take the right foot and we'll place it in the crook of the left arm and just rock back and forth. Cradle rock. And then you're going to carefully release and switch sides, picking up that left foot and placing it in the crook of the right arm. and rocking. And we'll release. And then we'll come up into a kneeling pose, and if you'd like, you can pad your knees with a towel or a blanket, a yoga blanket if you'd like. And this is the gate posture. So we're going to take the fingertips to the floor and take the right leg out at a right angle, and your right heel will be in alignment with your left knee. You square your hips and your shoulders forward. Place your right hand on that right thigh. Float the left arm out, turn that palm up. Inhale and sweep that arm and hand overhead, and then tip off to your right. Now perhaps you can get your right forearm on that right thigh. Excuse me. Feel that good stretch. We'll come back, take the fingers to the floor and bring that right foot in and come up. Fingertips to the floor, left leg out now at a right angle. The ankle or the heel and the knee are in alignment here. We're squared forward. Floating the right arm out, turning that palm up. Inhale as you sweep overhead. On the exhalation, tip to your left. Feel that good stretch. And then windmill back. Taking the fingertips back to the floor, you can curl your toes under now and sit back on your heels for just a moment, stretching out the bottoms of the feet. Coming forward, we're going to move into the full gate posture. You can stay with the previous postures if you choose. We take the fingertips to the floor. Now we're going to extend that right leg out fully. And the heel again in alignment with your left knee. You can come up on that heel if that works for you, or try to keep the sole of the foot down. Squared forward now, let's take those arms overhead. Nice deep inhalation. Exhale part way. Another inhalation. Exhale a little bit more. Tipping a little bit more. And finally come down, bringing that right hand to the top of the right leg. Palm down, palm up. Whatever works eventually, over time, maybe in my next lifetime, the hands will come together and we'll be able to close the gate. So just be comfortable where you are. Lifting up, taking the hands back to the mat, taking the right leg in. You can sit back on your calves or on your heels. Coming forward, extending the left leg out. Coming back up, again, hips and shoulders squared forward. Floating those arms overhead. Nice inhalation here. On the exhalation, tip to the left. On your next exhalation, a little bit farther. And then finally release that left hand to the top of the left leg. And again, stretch. Keep breathing. And then lift back up. Hands to the mat. Left leg in. Sit back on calves or your heels. And breathe. And then we're going to do a little bit of a camel to rabbit posture, modified, not the full expression here. The tops of the feet can be down, or you can curl your toes under for this. We'll take the hands to the hips, or you could even go behind the body if you'd like. You're going to inhale into camel, opening up that heart center. On the exhalation, come upright and fold forward, bringing the head down towards your knees, towards the mat for rabbit. Again, inhaling up, camel, exhaling into rabbit. Inhaling, exhaling. Let's do one more. And then inhale back up, and you can release. And we'll come back to a seated pose. Let's come into Sukhasana, just do a gentle twist, side to side, and then we'll go back to the mat for the final movements here. Extending the arms out, right foot is in front of the left. Again, inhale and elongate. Exhale, rotate to the right, left hand taking the outside of your right thigh, right hand going down to the mat right behind the body. Press into the right hand. You can gently pull into the leg and see if you can deepen your twist. And bring yourself carefully back to center. Recrossing the legs, left in front of right now. Walking those sit bones back. Floating the arms out. Again, inhale, elongate. On the exhalation, twist to the left. Right hand taking the outside of your left thigh. Left hand going down to the mat behind you. Keep breathing. And come back to center. I'm going to take just a sip of water here. Remember, it's in the warmer weather, it's really important to stay well hydrated. So, we'll face the short side of the mat. The knees are bent, and we'll bring ourselves down. A good place to roll out the back again. And then take those feet back down. Let's do a gentle bridge here today, just a nice little back bend. So the feet are walked in towards the buttocks, palms are down, fairly close into the sides of the body. Remember, when you're in the bridge posture, you need to keep your gaze right above you. Do not turn side to side, or you could compromise the neck. So gaze stays above you. Pressing into the feet, the palms, and the forearms. Bring the torso up part way. Here you're going to tuck those shoulders underneath the body, and perhaps you can interlace the fingers underneath the body and press into the sides of your fist. Keep your legs together here and see if you can press up just a bit more. And then very carefully come back down, untuck those shoulders, and bring the back to the mat. And then we'll just do a few single leg lifts here today before the final twist. The legs are bent. We're going to extend the left leg now fully out, and we'll have those toes pointed. On an inhalation, bring that leg up. Imagine it has an extra 10-pound weight on it. You're going to flex the foot, lead with your heel, and bring that foot back down. Pointing the toes again, inhale up. Exhale down. And one more. Point those toes. Flex the foot. And bring it down. Slide the sole of that left foot back. Extend the right foot out. Toes are pointed. Inhale up. Flex your foot. Exhale down. Again, inhale up. Flex down. And one more here. And we'll bring that foot back to center. You can do a double bent leg twist as your final twist here today, or you can try crossing your right leg over the left. Press into your left foot, lift the torso up, and move it a little bit more towards the right side of the mat. And then hugging those legs tightly together, you can just release those crossed legs off to the right. It's just a little bit deeper, or to the left. It's a little bit deeper than the double bent leg twist. Carefully bring yourself back to center. Uncross the legs and bring yourself back. Nicely aligned at center. Now cross left over right. Press into the sole of the right foot, lifting the torso up and moving it off a little bit more to the left. Then release those crossed legs to your right. And then carefully come back to center, uncross those legs and realign yourself. And then you can go into the final Shavasana. Remember, you can stay in the normal Shavasana with the legs bent or extended, or you can do legs up the wall, where you actually sit next to the wall, raise those legs, and then turn so the legs are supported on the wall. I actually have time to demonstrate that, so I will. So you scoot up close to the wall. You come back down on your back and bring those legs up the wall. And it's very refreshing for the legs. The blood flow reverses a bit here. Arms just casually out to the side. You can always pad the low back with a blanket or a towel, but many people love this posture. You can also take those legs out a little bit wider if you'd like, but very refreshing for the body. This is considered an inversion, but a very, very gentle one. The other thing you can do is bend the legs and have them resting on a chair seat. So now it's that time to go back into Shavasana with the eyes closed. Always okay to bring an extra layer of clothes, covering yourself up to warm yourself up a bit as the body does cool down during these periods of relaxation. So we're going to close the eyes softly. And just as we release and relax onto the mat again, we'll send ourselves an honoring message for our practice here today, for good choices that we make throughout our day, for our own good health and well-being. And today I'd like to lead you through what is called the ocean wave relaxation. This was from a DVD from a woman called Lakshmi Volkar, and it's one I love to use from time to time. So the eyes are softly closed. Just imagine yourself on the beach, at a favorite lake, at the ocean. Just visualize yourself being there. Breathing in and breathing out, release and relax the physical body completely. Soften the tissues of the face, the forehead, and the scalp. Allow any last bits of tension or tightness to melt away from the jaw, the neck, and your shoulders. Feel the backside of the body melting deeper and deeper into the earth beneath you. Feel your arms and your legs long and relaxed. Breathing in, breathing out. Imagine yourself on a warm, sunny beach. Breathe in, breathe out. As the waves wash up, the breath comes in. As the waves roll down, the breath goes out. Breathing in, breathing out. We let go of yesterday, we forget about tomorrow, and we come into this present moment. Hear the sound of the waves, hear the songs of the birds, and feel the warmth of the sun. Breathe in, breathe out. Relax deeper and deeper and deeper down. The body is deeply relaxed. The mind is deeply relaxed. Waves wash up over the body one more time. As they roll down, they release any last bits of tension, tightness, anxiety. The body is released, the mind is released. Breathe in, breathe out. Come into a healing white light. Inhale, exhale, breathe in, breathe out. Stay in this peaceful place now for a few more moments. Breathing in, breathing out. If you'd like, you can stay in this period of Shavasana, this restful place, for a while longer. Right now, I will come out of Shavasana, bringing my hands together at the heart center. If you choose, you can join me and connect the thumbs with the heart center and bow the head. The goodness and the light that resides within me sees, acknowledges, and honors the goodness and the light that resides within you. And our soul-to-soul greeting and parting. Namaste. Again, thank you so much for practicing again with me today. Stay safe, be well, and I hope to be with you again soon. Again, namaste.